Howdy. What can he... The one in the fancy suit seemed to be calling the shots. That's as much as I know. Was a prospector until I decided to settle here to get away from the NCR. Nah. Means I poke through old buildings looking for working tech and such. Way I see it, salvage means it's broken, near worthless. Me, I look for the good. Nope. Had a pretty good claim once, way out east by the river, but got run off by raiders. Meat and hide, mostly. Can't put a pack on them. They just lay down and can find a bunch of wild ones high up in the hills, but gotta be careful around them. The machine? Harmless, no matter what Trudy says. She thinks it's hiding something, but keep your gun handy if you go...
Howdy, partner. Don't mention it. I'm always ready to lend a helping. I was out for a stroll that night when I heard the commotion up the old bone orchard. Once they had run off, I dug you up to see if you were still kicking. Turns out you were. Can't say that I'm familiar with the rascals. Some of the fine... I moseyed into town, 10, 15 years ago. Anyway, it's a right peaceful town, and I reckon... I'm a Securitron. Robco Security Model 2060B.
Cheyenne, stay. Yeah, me. Now, see the sarsaparilla bottles on the fence there? Take this and try to hit a couple of them. That's the right idea. Look down the side. Try crouching down and staying still. Nice shot. Well, that's a start. But I don't reckon you came to me to learn to fight. Tell you what. I gotta go chase geckos away from our water supply anyway. Darn critters. Suit yourself. I'm heading back now. Hope I didn't miss anything good on the jukebox. Cheyenne would never... Hey, do me a favor. Trudy, she's the bartender up at the Prospector. Kind of the... She'd be cross with me if I didn't ask you to poke your head in and say hi. Howdy.
I'm done being nice. If you don't hand Ringo over soon, I'm going to get my friends and we're burning this town to the ground. Got it?
We'll keep that in mind. Now, if you're not gonna buy something, get out.
What do you want? He's some traitor who decided he'd rather shoot than pay the toll for being in our territory. He's hiding somewhere in town. Would serve these idiots right if me and my guys shot the place up after we got... It is now. Me and the rest of the guys busted out of the robbed some people, burned something.
Well, you've been causing quite a stir. Glad I finally got to meet you. Looks like our little town got itself dragged into the middle of something we don't want any... About a week ago, this traitor, Ringo, comes into town. Survivor of an attack, he says. Bad men after him. Needs a place to hide. We figured he was just in shock, so we gave him a place to lie low. He's holed up at the abandoned gas station up the hill. You mean murder him? That's not our way, even if Cobb is scum. He can bluster and threaten all he wants. Some of the others, like Sonny, will probably stand up for Ringo if he asks for help, which he has. Personally, I hope he sneaks out of town one night and takes the powder gangers with him. Chain gangs, really. The NCR brought them in from California to work on... Was a big escape not too long ago. If you were able to get Ringo out of this mess, you'd have a decent reputation around Good Springs. I'd even set you up. Of course, helping Ringo would also make the powder gangers mad, and they've got a lot... Don't know why you'd want to do a thing like that. Yep, you'd get on their good side, but people around here wouldn't appreciate it one bit. He's a convict, just without the chains. Said his name was Cobb. Powder gangers is what they... Not much, other than they're a bunch of freeloaders who expected a few rounds on the house. I was able to get them. Of course, one of the great cons did knock my radio to the floor, by accident. And they were having some kind of argument about it, but the guy in the checkered coat kept shushing them. Sounded like they came in from the north through Quarry Junction. If that's the case... That whole area is overrun with the kind of critters that just get mad if you shoot them. Merchants avoid that whole stretch of I-15 like it's radioactive. I didn't hear exactly, but the leader was talking about the strip. Fellow wants to get there and avoid the 15, he'd have... Sure, the outside looks okay, but there'd be caps in it for you. I know that thing. Other than rolling around once in a while, it doesn't do anything. I don't know. It acts friendly enough, but I don't trust that whole cheerful cowboy act. It was here when I took over the saloon 7 years ago. Some people have said its owner lived here, but no one knows who it was.
That's close enough. Sorry about the gun. You just caught me off guard, that's all. We got off to a bad start. What say we start over with a friendly game of Caravan? Yeah, he doesn't look very tough, though. I hear he's afraid I'll shoot him down from one of the windows. I'll have a much bigger problem once his friends show up. There's no way I could handle all of them in a gunfight. I'm gonna lay low for as long as I can, assuming the we just end up sharing the same grave if it's just the two of us. Now, start with Sunny Smiles. She's been friendlier than most around here.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to me, Mr. New Vegas, and you look extraordinarily beautiful right now. We've got some news for you coming right up. The influx of displaced residents to the refugee camp at Bitter Springs has caused a strain on rations there. NCR officials are asking for donations. That's all for now. This is Mr. New Vegas saying, I'm just no good without you. More classics coming right up for you, so stay tuned.
Howdy. Bad trouble. Well...
Howdy. Hi there. Sticking around Good Springs for a while longer? Say no more. I'm in. Joe Cobb talks about leaving us alone if we hand over Ringo, but I know his type. He and his friends will come after. However, between you, me, and Ringo, we aren't exactly a force to be reckoned with. If you could convince Trudy to join us, some of the folks in town... I know Easy Pete's got a stock of dynamite somewhere. Finally... I don't think give is in Chet's vocabulary. Even with the town at stake, he'd still make you barter with him. A silver tongue would help. Easy Pete's pretty protective of his dynamite. You'd have to convince... Not in Good Springs, no. But if you're up for a little scavenging, there's always the schoolhouse. Most of what's in there is... If you want to take a shot at it, take these. If the lock's too much... You'll need those to pick the... Always happy to help someone down on their... Sure can. Take the road southeast out of... NCR patrols do a good job of keeping... off the road.
So you're planning on taking on Joe Cobb's gang. It's a big risk, but I suppose you have to do... I was planning on sitting this one out, but for some reason, I can't help but like you. Let me have a word with a few other folks, and I'll see if I can't round up some more members for... While everyone does... I'm sure...
Howdy. Too dangerous. Gonna kill all yourselves if I let you touch it. Too dangerous. Sorry. Blow yourself up. Blow your...
You must be the one Doc Mitchell was patching up. Way I heard it, I've got plenty of supplies for... If you're hurting for... Now just hold on. I never voted to take on the Powder Gangers. That's 1,000 cap investment you're talking about. Right. Just keep... If we...
So what's going on? All right, I'm...
Time to look alive. The Powder Gangers are here to play. At least, I'll be...
Way too many strangers.
Those bastards got Ringo in the end after all. At least he went down fighting. At least his death was quick. Cobb's gang had much worse in mind for him.
Just coming into town these days. No offense.
I owe you a huge favor for this. Here, these are technically I'll stick around for a bit. Thanks again for all your help. It's why you won't... Here. So...
That ought to keep things settled for a while.
Hey. Hey, where the hell do you think you're going?
It's your ass. Don't say you weren't warned.
When I got this assignment, I was hoping there'd be more gambling.
I don't know what it was brought you to Prim, youngster, but you might want to rethink your plans. Town's... Johnson Nash is my name. Husband to Ruby Nash. I'm a trader primarily, for what it's worth with things... Well, I don't got any work right now. I'll tell you whatever I can. You have a delivery order you can show me? Oh, so you're talking about one of them packages. That job had strange written all over it. That cowboy robot had us hire 6 couriers. Each was carrying something a little different. A pair of dice, chess piece, that kind of stuff. Last word I have from the office, it looked like payment had been received for the other 5 jobs. First deadbeat we hired to do the job canceled. Hope a storm from the divide. Yeah, I got this look when he saw you next down on the courier list. His expression turned right around. Asked me. I said, sure as like a rain, you were still kicking. Then he turned down the job, just like that. I asked if he was sure. No, let Courier 6 carry the package. That's what he said. Like the Mojaves sort you... No idea. Sounds like you two had it. Hope he didn't see it. Well, now that you mentioned it, a few nights back, one of the townies was... He said he saw a fellow with a daisy suit come through with some of them Great Con misfits. Well, for that, your best bet is going to be talking to Debbie, since they came... I guess I don't have... Beagle had some notes...